Yo, this is Afro, aka All Flows Reach Out, and you're listening to Built for This Network. Yes, sir. From the building, stay bomb.
Hey, yeah, we the same brothers from a long time ago. We was talking about television and doing it on the radio. What we did was to help our generation realize they got to get out there and get busy because it wasn't going to be televised. We got respect for young rappers and the way they freeway in. But if you're going to be teaching folks things, be sure you know what you're saying. Older folks in our neighborhood got plenty of know-how. Remember, if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be out there now. And I ain't coming at you with no disrespect. All I'm saying is that you damn well got to be correct. Because if you're going to be speaking for a whole generation and you know enough to try and handle their education, be sure you know the real deal about past situations and ain't just repeating what you heard on the local TV station. Sometimes they tell lies and put them in a truthful disguise. But the truth is, that's why we said it wouldn't be televised. They don't know what to say to our young folks, but they know that you do. And if they really knew the truth, why would they tell you? The first sign is peace. Tell all them gun-toting young brothers that the man is glad to see us out there killing one another. We raised too much hell when they were shooting us down, so they started poisoning our mind and trying to jerk us all around. And then they tell us they got to come in and control our situation. They want half of us on dope and the other half in incarceration. If the ones they want dead ain't killed by what they instigated, they can put some dope on the brother's body and claim it was drug-related. Tell them drug-related means there don't need to be no investigation, or at least that's the way they're gonna play it on the local TV station. All your 9mm brothers, give them something to think about. Tell them you heard that this is the new word. They got to work that stuff out. Because somehow they feeling the wrong way with a gun in their hands. They feeling real independent, but they just pulling contracts with a man. 5 is 5 will tell you it's hopeless out there on the avenue, but if they really knew the truth, why would they tell you? And if they look at you like you're insane and they start calling you scarecrow and say you ain't got no brain, or start telling folks that you suddenly gone lame, or that white folks that finally co-opted your game, or worse yet, implying that you don't really know, that's the same thing they said about us a long time ago. Young rappers, one more suggestion before I get out of your way. But I appreciate the respect you give me and what you got to say. I'm saying protect your community and spread that respect around. Tell brothers and sisters they got to calm that bullshit down. Because we're terrorizing our old folks and we brought fear into our homes. And they ain't got to hang out with the senior citizens. Just tell them, damn it, leave the old folks alone. And we know who ripping off the neighborhood. Tell them that BS has got to stop. Tell them you're sorry they can't handle it out there, but they got to take the crime off the block. And if they look at you like they think you're insane, or start calling you scarecrow thinking you ain't got no brain, or start telling folks that you suddenly gone lame, or that white folks have suddenly co-opted your game, or worse yet, saying that you really don't know, that's the same thing they said about me a long time ago. And if they tell folks that you finally lost your nerve, that's the same thing they said about us when we said Johannesburg. But I think you young folks need to know that things don't go both ways. You can't talk respect on every other song or just every other day. What I'm speaking on now is the raps about the women folks. On one song, she's your African queen, and on the next one, she's a joke. And you ain't said no words that I haven't heard, but that ain't no compliment. It only insults 8 people out of 10 and questions your intelligence. 4-letter words or 4-syllable words won't make you a poet. It will only magnify how shallow you are and let everybody know it. And if they look at you like they think you're insane, or they call you scarecrow thinking you ain't got no brain, or start telling folks that you suddenly gone lame, or that the white folks have finally co-opted your game, or you really don't know, they said that about me a long time ago. If they finally start telling people that you lost your nerve, that's what they said about Johannesburg. You ain't insane. You have got a brain. You haven't gone lame. You have got your game. Remember, keep the nerve. Keep the nerve. Keep the nerve. Keep the nerve. We're talking about peace.
It's official. Style Guys is trending for the holiday season. Located 1252 Burnham Ave in Calumet City. Being black owned and operated with new items weekly, in store, and even online. And with over 50,000 followers online, you can't miss out. Sales going on till 2022. Like jogging suits, hoodies, t-shirts, Jordan Craig, Smoke Rise, Crisp, sweaters, and so much more. So beat the lines and order online from Style Guys, 1252 Burnham Ave in Calumet City. Contact them today at 708-801-9481. Again, 708-801-9481. Or check them out from Tuesday to Saturday from noon to 7 p.m. or Sundays from noon to 5 p.m. Style Guys, 1252 Burnham Ave in Calumet City. Life, fashion, style. Follow some of the newest styles by Style Guys in Calumet City. Lock in The Style Guys on IG or look them up, thestyleguys.com. Gone wild!
It doesn't make sense for you to compete against. Calm down, listen to a brother who knows. Cause the calm down, listen to a brother who knows. Cause the calm down, listen to a brother who knows. Cause it doesn't make sense for you to compete against. Calm down, listen to America's best.
You are listening to the End of the Bench podcast on Built for This Network, hosted by my man H-Rap B.
Good evening. It's your man H-Rap coming at you live and direct. Sorry for the delay. Alfred changed the passcode on the Rap Cave. I was locked out for a little while. Now we in business though. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the End of the Bench Media. The End of the Bench Media. This is Build and Destroy. This is a podcast where we ask three questions. The three questions that we ask every week is, what do we want? What do we need, and how can we get it? That is, what do we want? What do we want? What do we need, and how can we get it? Basically, I'm trying to build up the community and destroy all the lies and propaganda that's surrounded by the community. Thank you for tuning in. It's been great. It's going to be another great show. And before I start, I do the same thing every show. I am going to salute our ancestors, my elders, ancestors, everybody connected to the Williams family, via my grandmother and my grandfather, and everybody connected to the Pollard family via my mother and my grandparents. So thank you for tuning in, and thank them for being here. Thank them for thank them for making a way for me. It is an interesting week that we've had here in the Black community. Work with me. Left my glasses again. It's not a good thing. I'm operating on the blind side of the game, but it is what it is. But as I stated, every single solitary week, we work from one premise. And that premise is, what do we want? What do we need? And how can we get it? What do we want? What do we need? And how can we get it? Now, as usual, there's a lot to talk about in the news. Salute to my brother John. Salute to Pastor James Dodd. Always remember, you can catch us at 4104 West Roosevelt Road. 4104 West Roosevelt Road. We have a food giveaway this Thursday, December 8th. I think it's the 8th. Yeah, December 8th. Come check us out. Helping build up the community, building the community, destroying the lies and propaganda around the community is the goal. Thank you. Now, what I want to do is talk about, for the last year, pretty much. I have primarily the last 6 months, but definitely the last year. I've been talking about how important things like voting. Voting is a very important part of your civic duty. A lot of people say voting means nothing. Oh man, the proverbial they are not going to let you do anything. They can't do this, and they. The reason I'm going to highlight voting yet again, even though we need the state of Georgia to step up, keep Reverend Raphael Warnock in play as in his seat in the U.S. Senate, is because then this will decide if the Democrats are definitely our friend. This will let us know if the Democratic Party is definitely our friend, simply because, salute to Chris Crispin, he in the building, thanks, man. Simply because they will have the advantage. And now that they have the advantage, what happens? The most powerful portion of the government will be in control of the people who allegedly have our back. And if those people have our back, then bam, if they have our back, guess what? We are supposed to get the things that we need. We're supposed to, now that's when the 3 questions come into play. What do you want? What do you need? And how do we get it? How do we get it? We organize, come together in individual groups, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But the reason I'm bringing up voting yet again is because there's been an influx, since the George Floyd situation, since the Black Lives Matter movement, and a few other things, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, and several others, our brothers and sisters who have been assassinated in the streets of the United States of America by police officers and other entities. There's been an influx in students to HBCUs, historically Black universities and colleges. Shout out to Morris Brown, my school. But the reason I'm bringing that up is due to the influx of students that are in HBCUs, a lot of people are getting in the uproar. They're getting their panties in a bunch, as they say. The reason I'm talking about this is, look, if you have a lot of people from our community attending HBCUs, that galvanizes the community. One thing about a university setting, you create relationships that last a lifetime. And when you create relationships that last a lifetime, it breeds familiarity. It breeds what happens with familiarity, what happens with that breeds a community. You're familiar with people, you spend time with people, you create a community, and then at this point, instead of our dollar bouncing, and what I mean by the dollar bouncing, that means the dollar bounces 3 hours on the average. You're talking about, in some communities, it's 28 days. Some community is 16 days. Ours is 3 hours. 3 hours. Basically, you get paid, and by the time you get home, your money is out of your pocket and in somebody else's pocket. Remember last week I spoke about we have $1 trillion, yada, yada, yada spending power. That spending power means nothing if you're not giving it to someone who looks like you. That's just point blank, period. There's nothing wrong. Salute to my man, Chris Crispin. If I didn't say that, man, I'm slipping. It means nothing if you are not using that money to enhance your own thing. I got my sister Denise Milk and Cookies in the building. It's good to see you, Denise. It's always good to see you. Alabama in the building, I see you. But one of the things that is important that money does bounce. And not just bounce to your barber or your hairdresser or the chicken wing spot. It needs to be bouncing in grocery stores. It needs to be bouncing in entities in which you can have electronics purchased. We need to be getting our cars fixed. We need to have our houses repaired by the people in our community. That way we can build an employment base in our own community. One of the things that annoys me is we always talk about Black unemployment. And we always make this trope, we always repeat this trope, but we don't support each other. But we don't have anything to support, brothers and sisters. That's the bottom line. It's not that we don't. What's there for us to support? Other people own the corner store. Other people own the gas station. We go outside for housing repairs like carpentry, heating and air conditioning, and things of that nature. So what we have to do is continue to circulate that money so we can create our own nation and we can employ our friends and family members who are formerly incarcerated or didn't. Thank you, Denise, who didn't make the best decisions possible, but now they're trying to. So these are the things that we have to do instead of always saying what we don't do. Ask, why don't we? And then come up with an answer. And not the man is out to get us. I jokingly say that a lot around my friends and family and my loved ones. Hey, it's the man. But it's just a joke. It's simply a joke because there is no man out to get me and there's no man out to get you. But there is a system created to oppress the people who get up and go to work every day, period. If you don't understand that, I'm sorry that you don't understand that, but that's exactly what they out there doing. Since our resources are limited around here, the other ones that we have are few and far between. Exactly. And this is why what Denise just said is they have very few resources and And when they in the places they do have, it's few and far between. And that's our job as citizens to fill in the gap. As I told you, state representative's job is, one of his jobs is to represent you in the House of Representatives and your needs, as well as find you funding to open up businesses, to create a tax base. And that tax base helps you fund your schools. And that tax base help you fund, keep your roads smooth. And that tax base helps the garbage be removed and things of that nature. So what we have to do is get people in there who doing our bidding. And once we get people in there doing our bidding, we should be able to take advantage of it. And hey, and I'm going to ask you this forever. Let's stop focusing on what we don't do, and let's start focusing on what we can do and what we will and shall do. Because what we won't do won't get us anywhere. I don't need to know I have a cold if I'm coughing and sniffing and taking NyQuil and blowing my nose and things of that nature. I know I have a cold. Where did this cold come from? How can I prevent it from getting worse? And that's what we need to do. We've addressed the fact that we have a cold. Now let's work on healing. Let's work on the healing portion of having a cold. And once we work on that, we can become healthy. You know, we can eat more vegetables. We can get more rest. We can drink more water, so forth and so on, metaphorically in regards to our community, right? So what I'm going to do is give you some examples of what I'm talking about. As I stated, HBCUs enrollments are up. What I want to do tonight is focus on Tennessee State University. Of course, it's in Knoxville, Tennessee. Well, not of course, but it's in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's another university in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's the University of Tennessee, the Tennessee Vols. Now, Tennessee State is a state-funded institution. So when they want to, because there's an influx in students, they had the largest freshman enrollment in the history of the school this year. Shout out to Tennessee State University. And now they need more help. They need financial help for housing. And one of the state representatives, his name is Todd Gardenshare. My man, Show Killer in the building. Good to see you, my man. Todd Gardenshare. This dude is talking to the chancellor. I can't think of her name. I can't think of her name. Well, it really doesn't make a difference. He's talking to the chancellor of school, and he's telling her, asking her, so why all these black people come to the school? And she was like, it's a million reasons. We got wonderful education program. Some people go for the band. She facetiously said, some people come for the band, but it's the culture. And when we are in a racially tense environment right now. So why wouldn't I, as a black person, let's take a step back. 2 weeks ago, young lady that was at the University of Kentucky gets accosted by another young lady from another culture and told her she needs to do her chores. Do my chores, N-word. But what's the chance of you being told that by a drunken person from another culture at HBCU? Is the HBCU environment just friendly and everybody loves each other? No, it's just like the world. You're going to have some jerks there. You're going to have some people that you don't like. You're going to have some people that you do like. You're going to have all kinds of people at HBCU. But one thing you're not going to have at HBCU is racial discrimination and racial tension, because we all are from the same culture. Are you going to have some uppity Negroes that think they're better than you? Of course. But you don't have the racial strife that you get in the world. This is a universe that is created that exists so you can be comfortable. You can see what I don't call it black excellence or black genius, because black genius makes it seem like this is abnormal. Genius is not normal. It is normal to see people that look like me and you excel academically, excel athletically, excel socially, and every other aspect of life that we have participated in. So it's not black excellence or black genius. It's just black life. And I understand. Well, you know what? I'll submit and say it's black excellence because, you know, it is what it is. But what I want people to understand is this. A lot of people are going towards those HBCUs. And then you got this dude in the House of Representatives for the state. He's a state rep trying to figure out why we going. Because we've been made uncomfortable. I got peace out to my man, Joe. And what's up to my man, Slick? It's good to see y'all. Thank y'all for the support. For everybody coming in, this is the end of the bench. This is the end of the bench. Build and destroy. And I need you guys to hit that like button. Tell a friend to tune in, share, and continue to support. Hit that thumbs up, please. Thank you. And allow me to proceed. But That's all I'm saying. He's questioning why a lot of black students are starting to go to HBCUs. 2 things came about. Actually, 3 things came about. Why is it your concern that so many black people want to go to HBCUs? It is a historically black college or university. Historically black college and university. Your folks set up these schools so we wouldn't come to your school. But now you have an issue with it. We've been met with discrimination on so many planes, and now we have a situation to whereas there's an influx of us attending the institutions that you set up for us, and you still have a problem. That was the first thing. The second thing is, and I was listening to Roland Martin, and the lady on there said the same thing. When you have a school like Tennessee, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Wyoming, and you always find yourself wondering, what the brothers and the sisters doing there? Ain't no brothers and sisters in Wyoming. Ain't no brothers and sisters in Idaho. Why are you doing that? Simply because you get an academic scholarship or minority scholarship for going there. And in the school and in the institutions, they will get additional state funding because they have people of color, whether they're Latinos or whether they're Asians or they're Black, Caribbean, or whatever, because they have people of color in those institutions. You get additional state funding. Mind you, this is the thing. An additional, last year, 2021, 5,900 freshmen signed up for the University of Tennessee, the Volunteers, the big school of the state of Tennessee. And this year, 67, they have back-to-back record attendance years, but you still have a problem because we don't want to go where you are and deal with your discrimination, your racism, and your tyranny. See, this was set up the third bill. The third bill is this. The third bill is this. It made me wonder, what are you guys going to do? And then this is the precursor, in my opinion, to potential violence. Potential violence, because every time history shows us, you can think, oh, yo, rap, you're being hyperbolic, you're being over the top with what you're saying, but I'm not. Because history shows us that every time we try to build something, you get a government sanctioned mob, and they try to destroy it. History tells us this time and time again, that every time we build something, the white mob responds and bam, it's over. It's destroyed, and then we back subjugated, discriminated, oppressed, and things of that nature. So this is why I need to put us on warning. When we got people like Coach Prime down in Jackson, Mississippi, not Jackson State. Or Jacksonville, Jackson State, not Jacksonville. I always say Jacksonville. But seriously, when you got Coach Prime down there doing a thing, and he's building, he's trend setting. He's trend setting. Trey Natural's in the building, good to see you. Sister Teddy in the building, good to see you. These are things that we have to be aware of. Because why are you so hell-bent on always stopping progress when we don't take the path that you need me to take? You don't want anybody over here messing with your girls and going down there where you belong, right? Okay, we are where we belong, and I'm going to need you to basically stand down. But people don't want to stand down. They want to put themselves in a position of power. Power is the number one driving force. So, brothers and sisters, again, people may say, yo, Rap, you being a little extra on this one. But I'm going to need us, again, to get these FOID cards, conceal and carry. We need to learn how to use these firearms and be prepared. Because every time we start building something, we get attacked. The AME Church in South Carolina, the one that Denmark Vesey, who the organizer of the largest enslaved African revolt in the United States of America, 3,600 people ready to tear this joint up. They went in his church a couple years ago, shot up the church. You don't have to, look, you can think whatever you want to think, but this is out the history books. This isn't my opinion. This is not how I feel. This is what the history books tell us. So this time, we need to get to the point whereas we are prepared to not only, and I'm going to get into this a little later, Ready Kev in the building is always good to see you, bro. We need to get to the point where not only are we building institutions, we're protecting those institutions as well. We need to be creating security forces, security companies. Again, everybody is not going to be a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist, or engineer. Some of us are going to have to do the groundwork. Some of us are going to be bus drivers. Some of us are going to be security guards. Some of us are going to be police officers. Some of us are going to be military people. So we all must assume the role, because as we continue to try, that's my goal, to build up the community. Well, I'm not trying to subjugate anybody. I'm not trying to cut anybody out, but I definitely need my children, my grandchildren, my nieces, nephews, cousins, neighbors, friends, all of your children, all your nieces, nephews, cousins. I need you guys to be in the best possible position. And history has shown us Black success rings an alarm in white America, and they attempt to destroy it. Call me racist, call me prejudiced, call me hyperbolic, whatever you want to call me, but you can't call me wrong. You can't call me wrong. Liberty City, Florida, right outside of Miami. Peoria, Illinois, Bronzeville here in Chicago. The 405 freeway in Los Angeles, California went right through a Black neighborhood. The Dan Ryan freeway here in Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, went right through Bronzeville, the most successful Black community in the United States of America. 95 South, right through Liberty City. So this is a situation too, whereas our community is under attack at all times. So what we have to do is galvanize and organize and move forward. See, we can sit around and argue about these celebrities and things. That's what I'm talking about next, and what these people say. But at the end of the day, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. Chief Rock in the building, good to see you, bro. This is what we need to do. And, we can't do that. Yada, 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 this, that, and the third. But we do. We need to. And it's not saying we're anti anything. See, the thing is this. Because of the history of this country, white power means something that Black power doesn't. White lives matter means something that Black lives matter doesn't. White power was I almost said a word that doesn't. I was going to say tyrannic, but that's not even a word. That's information that was brought about via tyranny. That information was brought about via tyranny and oppression, because you don't have to say white power, because just like you don't have to say white Jesus, you say Jesus, or white Santa Claus. You don't have to say white Santa Claus, because in America, you assume that Santa Claus is white. You don't have to say white Jesus, because in America, you assume Jesus is white. So when you say Black power, you are saying we have power as well. When you say Black Lives Matter, also, in addition to whatever every other lives matter. So what we have to do is take ourselves out of these mental chains. These chains have been around our brains for decades. They've been around our heads for decades. Shout out to my man Kirby in the building. It's good to see you, bro. Everybody coming in, please hit that thumbs up. Please share. Tell a friend to tune in. The captain in the building. Ben is in the building. It's always good to see you, my brother. But we have to. And it's not difficult. Oh, man, we don't never support each other. Please stop repeating those tropes. We're our own worst enemy. We can't be our own worst enemy. Seriously, we do it to ourselves. Yeah. What we do is encapsulate the very few, the loud, squeaky, or the loud wheel that needs the most oil, and make it all the wheels on the vehicle. No, it's not that. That is the loudest wheel. 5% of every population in the United States of America has a criminal element. 5% of every population has a criminal element. Black people don't have a patent on crime. Why is it that more Black people are in jail than other people? I'll answer that. Because they have statistics on FBI.com. FBI.com, and shows you we don't smoke more crack than anybody. We We don't smoke. Oh my God. We don't smoke more crack than anybody. Oh my God. We don't smoke more crack than anybody. We don't steal more than anybody. We don't break, we don't use more drugs. We don't go to jail more. We don't do any we don't do anything more than other populations. I'm sorry. We don't break any of those laws more than anybody else. But what we do, what's up, Keisha? Good to see you. We don't break the laws more than anybody else, but we are apprehended more than anybody else. It's simple. It is impossible. This is what I want you to do. This is just a little science experiment, unofficial science experiment. This is what I want you to do. Seriously. I want you to think of 20 people that you know. 20 people. D Great in the building is good. Representing LA. He in the building. Good to see you. Represent think of 20 people. Seriously. Think of 20 people that you know. The first 20 people that you know come to mind. How many of those people don't have jobs? Not many. I bet you only 2 or 3 of them don't have jobs. Probably one. When you think of 20 people that you know, 19 of them have jobs. That's 5% of the people that you could just think of right off the top of your head. So, it's 20 people in the chat room. All of them employed. So where the criminals at? Criminals don't really tune in to YouTube and do podcasts, but y'all get what I'm saying. But so don't allow people to tell you that you our community is genetically predisposed to crime, because we're not. We're no more inclined to crime than anybody else. The thing about crime is lack thereof. People say money is the root of all evil. No, it's not. Jealousy is the root of all evil, because Cain killed Abel and there wasn't no money there, but he was jealous. So, see, these little tropes, we repeat them over and over again. A stitch in time says, and we hear these things and repeat them, and we are our own worst enemy. How could we possibly be our own worst enemy when we have a United States federal government that is set out, that is documented that they tried to get rid of us? They reduced the opportunities in our academic circles. They reduced the opportunity. It's harder to get. You can get a car loan. You can get a credit card, but you can't get a business loan. It's hard to get a house loan, and you can only get a house loan in these areas. These are the things that we need to stop just programming into our own heads. This is why I do this show every week, because I don't want us to continue to eat these things, eat them, and then our children hear us say it. We are our own worst enemy, and then what you're doing is depleting hope. You're depleting hope. And when you deplete hope, you get criminality. No hope, criminality. Because look, I don't think I'm living a Friday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. If I don't think I'm going to see Friday, your life ain't worth anything to me either. Because my life ain't worth anything. But if I have hope, again, this is why I consistently say we need to get back in church. Because church builds hope. Because church gives you faith. Faith is hope. Faith is tied in the hope. Hope is tied in the future. Future means I have a possibility to be successful. If I have a possibility to be successful, then I'll do everything I can to be successful. But if we're on our own worst enemies, where's the hope? I got my man Fly Tie in the building. It's good to see you, bro. Safe. Hush. But on the serious side, back to what I was saying, is hope. Church creates this. Church creates hope. Hope. You walk in your faith. That gives you hope. Hope is tied in the future. Future is tied into success. And it also teaches you how to be patient. Because guess what? It's not going to be perfect right now. Another thing I would like to suggest before I move on to the next topic is the fact that stop making people believe it's supposed to happen right now. Right now, nothing. I've never had anything happen right now. You have to work towards it. And again, it ties back into the church. You get to church And then you look at your situation and you get better and better and better and better. It proceeds. The closer you get to God, the closer you get to success. No matter what denomination you are, no matter what the religion you're a part of, we all have one mission. You know what that mission is? To fight against evil. Whether you're a part of the Judaism, the Islamic religion, or the Christian religion, and the different factions of Christianity, we are fighting against negativity and evil. So, whatever God you pray to, it creates a bond with your community. And now you're familiar with the people around you. And what does familiarity breed? It breeds empathy. You're less likely to rob somebody you know. You're not going to snatch your friend's mother's purse, or your friend's aunt's purse, or your friend's sister's purse. You traditionally do it to strangers. Now, are there people out here that just grimy? Indeed. Cain killed his brother Abel, so we know we'll do it. But more times than not, you won't. So again, we're going to create these communities. The goal is to create these communities so we can be familiar with each other. Once we're familiar with each other, we create these bonds, and then we can create these bonds, and then we support each other. Once we support each other, if H-Rap the Third finds himself in a precarious situation and he gets incarcerated, then somebody who doesn't know H-Rap the Third, you can bring him up and have him work at your store. He can work up to a management position, and we don't have to play these games. And that's the goal. That's the goal. I got my man Sugar Daddy in the building. It's good to see you, my brother. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's the goal. But if we are always at odds, you don't have to believe in my God. I don't have to believe in your God. All you have to do is believe in your God. And I haven't come across a religion yet that tells you to disrespect anybody. I haven't come across a religion yet that tells you not to love people. I haven't met a religion yet that tells you not to respect somebody. So once we get there, again, it's creating that foundation. It starts with your faith. The faith creates the hope. The hope creates the future. The future gives you something to strive towards. And once you're striving towards it, you'll have success. And that's just the way it works. Sorry. You don't have to agree with me. But all I need, if you disagree, just present me with a better plan. And then I'll come on here. Hey, yo, H-Rap, this the new plan. And I'm going to look at it. If it's the new plan, then we're going to go with the new plan. But until then, this plan I'm speaking of has yet to fail. So, again, what I want to do now, I want to show you a video. And this is even another reason. I'm gonna give you a company to support, and I'm gonna give you a reason that we need to do this. I'll be back shortly. This is your man H-Rap B. This is the end of the bench. At the end of the bench media. This is Build and Destroy. I am here to build up the community, destroy the lies of the propaganda around the community. I want you to watch this video, and when I come back, I'll have something.
Thou art rich. Welcome to the Black Excellence and Abundance Channel. What would the world be like without Black inventors? Moses West, born in Georgia, he moved to Germany and spent most of his childhood in Houston, Texas. He served 3 years as an Army Ranger, then went to flight school and piloted the helicopters, including the Chinook. A combat injury sidelined his career but didn't slow him down. After retiring from the military, he circled the world, traveling from Germany to Sweden to Australia and eventually to Hawaii. While in Oahu, a meeting with a next-door neighbor changed his course once again.
I've been getting paid $1,000 a month, if not more, just from this app on my phone. And
as it happens, the neighbor had a small machine plugged into the wall that created water, which he says was absolutely fantastic. As Moses sat on his neighbor's sofa and drank glass after glass, he had a revelation. The process seemed so simple, yet had enormous potential to be a game changer. His past home bases of Texas and Australia were in the middle of a drought and experiencing wildfires, while the air all around us is filled with H2O molecules just waiting to be used. He thought to himself, if this machine can do it on this scale, it's just a mathematical formulation to get it to work on a larger scale. And so it's a way to mitigate one of the largest crises that faces us today. Still in his neighbor's home, he remembered learning about the hydraulic cycle in elementary school, recalling that water is a closed-loop cycle. It moves between oceans and atmospheres and land while changing between liquid, solid, and gas form. We still have the same amount of water on Earth that we've always had. You borrow it and you give it back, says Moses. His atmospheric water generator simply borrows the H2O molecules from the air temporarily. Water is here and it's abundant, and it's a source that technology can remove and let us use it without any stress on our infrastructure. Today, his patented technologies has produced over 1 million gallons of water. Until late 2017, it had primarily been used by the military. Then Hurricane Maria struck Puerto Rico. Moses founded the Water Rescue Foundation to raise money and then headed there with his machine, working alongside FEMA to deliver fresh water to the island's residents. He even retrofitted the machine, which was already more energy efficient than any other water generators, to be powered by solar panels. With such a great invention, an invention that could revolutionize the whole water industry and also solve the problem in Flint, Michigan today, it begs the question, why has this invention not gone viral? And we know that the media floods us with images of Black people committing all kind of crimes, doing all kind of negative things. Yet, here is an invention that can actually save lives, and not a word from the media. Here is a man that has made this invention not because he wants to be rich or famous, because he simply wants to save lives. Mr. Moses West looked at the problems and the issues that we're having with the water today, and he felt compelled to do something about it. One man, one machine supplied an entire island with all their drinking water needs to prove that it could be done. And he is doing an outstanding job, one that is not going unnoticed by this channel. Someone had to see this happen and stop just talking about it, he said. And then to operate it on solar power, that's when I could have just cried. To sit there in a chair and have a machine producing over 1,000 gallons of water just using stored protons turned to electrons, turned to H2O molecules, even at night from battery backup, I just sat and looked at it for hours. Moses really connected with the community and found it difficult to leave. He was struck by the magnitude of the difference that something as simple as drinking water could have on a people's health and lives. You see people come to you and they're physically sick. And then you give them water that you made, and 3, 4, 5 days later, their skin looks healthier. They look different. Yes, folks, this is a great invention, but this man was committed to saving lives. The machine that Moses developed was innovative from the start. One of the challenges of scaling up atmospheric water generation technologies is the amount of energy they require to function. Many of the units on the markets today are very energy intensive. Not this machine, though. The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality requires power consumption no higher than 0.13 kilowatts per liter for approval. This unit, developed by Moses, uses only 0.08 kilowatts in testing, and in Puerto Rico, it achieved 0.05 kilowatts. Moses spends a lot of time watching the machine operate while thinking about parasitic electric load. He says, if I can put my hand someplace and I can feel some heat come off it, or I can feel some cool air come off, temperature change is energy. He continues to make tweaks to the design to minimize energy usage. I've gotten the equipment down to the place where it's very, very low on energy consumption, he says, and that's what you had to do to get it to the market. Moses is quoted as having said, the one thing that everybody says is going to happen on this earth is that we are going to run out of water. And that's just not true, because we walk around in all the water we need every single day. This invention has already saved many and promises to be a game changer for the Flint water crisis. He is a modern day hero, and we here at the Black Excellence and Abundance channel says thank you, Mr. Moses West, for your great invention. He literally creates water from thin air. The Black Excellence and Abundance channel, where Black history is every day. Thanks for watching.
Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, thou art rich.
Forget her friend. It's your man H-Rap coming at you live and direct. Thank you for continuing to watch. This is The End of the Bench. The End of the Bench and Build and Destroy is the name of the program, where we attempt to build the community, destroy the lies and the propaganda around the community. The reason I showed that video is because the very place that man is from, Houston, Texas, is on the water boil alert right now. They are boiling water. They've been told to boil their water because their water isn't safe to consume. That is also what I want you to pay attention to right there. 1186water.com. 1186water.com. That is a Black-owned water company from the great state of Mississippi. Mr. Coffee. Okay, I don't want to call him John Coffee because that's not his name. Mr. Coffee owns it. He's a brother, and his name of his company is Doing Things Through Morals and Gains. He was handing out water in Flint for the free. He's giving out water in Jackson, Mississippi for free, and he's charging in some places. He actually was, to show you how jacked up the world is today. He was actually handing out water and was showing up as some people who were not part of our community's water, and they were turning them down. He's giving away something that is essential to life. There's many people in this world who are dying and need medication, and you are turning down water because what I look like. you don't need to be here. It's good. What's up, J. Ron in the building? J. Ron is in the building. J. Ron is in the building. It's good to see you, my dude. These are the things I want you guys to go look at this water. This is the purest water in the United States of America. He said the word. I'm gonna go with the United States of America. He may be exaggerating. I'm not gonna say he is. I'm just saying. I'll just give him the United States of America. According to him, if it never rains again, he has enough water to survive for the next 118 years. He has trillions of gallons. According to him, he has this reservoir on the land that he owns. And every time it rains, he gets more water. He gets more water. So what I want you guys to do, if you don't have water that you are akin to, go to 1186water.com. Not only will they ship it to you, they will give you the ability to find a hub near you so it won't cost you as much. This is a Black-owned company. They're doing great things. And my brothers and sisters in Houston, like my main man, Joe, go to 1186 Water, get you some water. It's the purest water in the United States of America. Black-owned company, and he's giving it away. He's going to schools. He's doing a whole lot of things. So please, 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 James Brown, please support this brother because he's doing great things. That's what I want to say. He's doing great things. He's doing great things. So, yeah, but seriously, people in Houston, the people who support the program in Houston, the people who support it in Jackson, Mississippi, salute to my man, Steve. Yep, I do a shout out every week. People in Flint who watching. I got cousins in Flint, Snoop and Corey. 1186 Water. I told my brother about it, and I gave him 1186 Water. I think he wrote out the number 1186. So it's the number, the word 1186 Water. Period. Now, back to the program. Now, Moses West is making moves. Okay, now, but back to what I was saying. We are in a situation to whereas we must keep our heads on a swivel. We must keep our heads on a swivel. And it's this thing that's going on right now. What I'm about to talk about right now. Thank you, Ray to Care. Thank you. Somebody just said, my sister just said she can't hear me. I need you to hit the reset button because everybody else can hear me. Sucks to be you. Look at my man, Big Illinois. Big Oak Park in the building. Good to see you, my brother. I'm going to talk about something that at the onset, it's going to seem like it has nothing to do with our community, but it has everything to do with our community. And it is called the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1979. Indian Child Welfare Act of 1979 is simply this. When you have someone like in 1979, well, since the inception of this country, you had people who came over here, colonized the land. And when they colonized the land, what happened? They start destroying people. They start killing people. And the nation of what they call First Nation people who were here, a lot of their people have been annihilated. So what was happening is they had these laws. And these laws said, we're not going to kill the man. We're going to kill the Indian. We're going to cut their hair. You can't use your national name. Kind of like what they did with us. But they cut their hair. And then they incorporated them into white America. They wanted to make them white. They made them white evangelical Christians instead of using their own rituals and the way they connected to the Creator. Like I said, the key to having a faith is doing away with evil. So these people are following their own faith, thousands of years of faith, and you want to destroy that. So what they were doing is adapting young Native people into these white families, changing who they were. And it is a movie. It's a great movie on Bended Rock. It's on HBO. Go check it out. And it shows you the first indigenous person to the North American indigenous people to become an American citizen and a doctor. But what you want to do is You don't have to lose who you are to become a citizen in the United States of America. You shouldn't have to. And what now it's in front of the Supreme Court. White people are trying to do away, white nationalists are trying to do away with the Indian Child Welfare Act. Well, how does that tie into us? Give me a second and I'll tell you. The Indian Child Welfare Act says if you have an indigenous family and any other culture throughout the entire United States of America, that indigenous family has the rights to them. Like you could be Cherokee, you could be Blackfoot, you could be Sioux. Sioux is actually an insult. I got to remember what the real name is. Calling somebody a Sioux Indian is an insult, so don't ever do that. But I got Teresa Rucker Park, Tiki in the building. Good to see you, Tiki. See you in a little while. If you have somebody from one of these tribes, let's just say that tribe disappears. That tribe dissipates. Blackfoot Indian. That tribe is not around a lot. So what we can do is, as a Cherokee, I can see that young man and incorporate him and into my culture as a different tribe from a Native Americans, right? And white people are saying, no, we should have the right to adopt that young man first. No, you shouldn't. This young man should be brought up in the traditional Indian ways because he needs to understand who he is so he won't be confused. And you might be thinking, what does this have to do with us, rap? The same reason, no disrespect to Angelina Jolie, no disrespect to Madonna, no disrespect to none of these people. But I feel, if you deal with the 1979 Indian Child Welfare Act, then you're going to have people from our community being stripped from our community. Why wouldn't you allow a black family to raise black children? Why wouldn't you allow an Indian family to raise it? Just the same reason you would allow a Jewish family to raise Jewish children. The same reason you allow Italians and Spanish and Anglo-Saxons, whether it be from England or Ireland or Germany or what have you, because you have traditions that are inculcated into your culture that only you can explain. And I and others and the law in 1979 believed it's important that you have those cultures. So why would you want a white? Because they want to convert them to their way of thinking. And then you have a nation of Candace Owens, and you have a nation of Herschel Walkers. Look, I understand. It sounds great to have, Mr. Drummond adopt Willis and Arnold, and they grow up millionaires and this, that, and the third. But there's certain intricacies about being us that only we know. If you were Jewish, I would feel the same way. I don't want to be a black man adopting a Jewish child and take him away from his Jewish traditions. I don't want to be a black man adopting I don't want to be a black man adopting an Italian child and taking him away from his Italian heritage. Why do some white people feel that, oh yeah, I can provide money, I can provide affluence, and it makes his life better? You know what? I might be in a better school. I might be, I got my man Mandelion in the building. I might be able to provide a better school, provide you with more amenities. But you know what? It's certain things about my culture that you can't provide. It's just like having a father in your house. Having a father in your house and having a father outside of your house, you potentially raise up. You will more times than not raise up as a better person with both parents in your house. You are a combination of your mother and your father. You are a combination of your mother and your father. No matter how you shake it up, you may lean more towards your mother, you may lean towards your father. But when they're both there, they're going to help you become the best person you can be. And when you're around people who look like you, when you think who could potentially think like you, have the same traumas as you, they'll be able to relate better. Do you want a better education? Yes, indeed. I want to be able to go to Harvard. I want to be able to have the opportunity to be a doctor, lawyer, or whatever opportunities life can afford me. But you know what? When you love your children properly and you inculcate them into the culture that they're coming from, I would argue that it's better to grow up in a middle class home with love and understanding versus a upper class or a rich home, and they have no idea who you are. It's a I can't think of the thing. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's a movie. It's a documentary about this one lady who grew up. She thought she was Jewish her entire life, but when the truth came out, her mom had dipped out on her father, and she was biracial, and she always was lost. And when she went to Georgetown and got incorporated with those people, the brothers and sisters at Georgetown, she knew how to do her hair. She felt more comfortable, and then found out that she had a whole nother family in Brooklyn, New York, because her mom had stepped out. She always felt like she was different. And the sad part was, throughout the entire documentary, the white people in her town used to always look at her sideways. Like, one dude even said, "Let me see your gums," because he knew she was not entirely white. And she, inside, if you watch the documentary, if I think of it before the show's over, I'll let you know. But these are the things that are important to us. There's certain things that your grandmother, your aunts, your uncles, and just your community, it's certain things about being Black that other people cannot help you with. There's certain things about being Italian that I can't help you with. You might be a great young man, but if it's an Italian family there and I want to adopt you, I want you to go to that Italian family if they're quality people. I don't want you to go anywhere where you're going to be abused, obviously, but they will help you better be the best Italian you can be, or the best German you can be, or the best Polish person you can be, or the best Russian, or the best Asian, all the different fractions of Asians, Indian, Chinese, Filipino, Vietnamese, Japanese, Mongolian, Korean. They'll help you be that better than I could ever do as a Black man. And when you want to do away with this is another version of white nationalism, or what they like to commonly call white supremacy. You don't need to take somebody into your house that's not part of your culture and you think you're going to love them better than their culture does. And of course, you can be a jerk and be like, but what if they got not? We talking about best case scenario, because if you're talking about you can be a jerk. Look, and here's the sad part. You can be a jerk in any culture and disrespect children and beat them and mistreat them and don't do right by them, no matter what you look like. But I'm talking about best case scenario. And then here's the sad part. A lot of these people are adopting these, like the Indian Child Welfare Act. A lot of the white folks that were adopting these people, these young people, found it difficult to deal with them and then sent them back to the home. So now I'm rejected, I'm misplaced, and I'm outside of my culture when I could have just went to my culture and I'd have had a better life to begin with. So, this is another, again, as I said at the top of the show, putting people in play to support what you need to get done is paramount. It is paramount to what we need to do, because nobody needs to be, you don't adopt a child and send them back because they're too difficult. Because guess what? Children are difficult because they're little people. They're just smaller versions of their parents, or they're smaller versions of people in their culture. And if you're not familiar with their culture, it might be rambunctious to you and unable to handle. But, it takes me back to this school in New Orleans. It's an African-American school, and these young people in this school, they're going wild. They fighting every day. And these seniors, these Black men showed up at the school unpaid. They just volunteered to come to the school, and all of a sudden the fight stopped. And one of the young ladies on the news expo, they said, "Hey, why did y'all stop fighting?" And the young lady said, "Well, those men that just give you the look." And the news reporter was like, "What is the look?" Now, everybody who's African American in this chat room, they know what the look is. You know that look that our parents give us, don't have to say anything, just look at you. And you know, let me relax. I'm going to need to relax. That's the look. And that's a cultural thing. And nobody taught that young lady that, because she was in fights before those men got there. And the men looking at them and giving them the look, and things cool out. All of us have given our children the look. And they don't know these men. They didn't have any interaction with these men, and they walking up to these men and smiling and they have respect for them. Not that our children won't respect people from other cultures, but there's just certain idiosyncrasies that are in every culture that needs to be shared through and through. Period. So we need to have people in place to defend the right for people in the Indian Child Welfare Act. And let's not forget this. your kid's next. See, everybody, a lot of things happen. Like it's this poem from World War II. And it talks about how the Ashkenazi Jews and this set of Jews and the Ethiopian Jews were killed in succession. And nobody helped those first group of people. Then when it was the time for the Ashkenazi Jews to get killed, nobody was there to help them. And we don't help out the people who are known as the Indians or the Native Americans or the First Nation, you're behind is next. And that's just the way the world works. You can ignore this, and oh man, they ain't got nothing to do with me. And when they come to take your children, remember this conversation. Before I close out, and I'm right at the top of the hour, just to close out time, I have a bone to pick with black celebrities. Black celebrities they seem to be pawns in some cases. 2 weeks ago today, actually, let's go a month ago today. A month ago today, it was 2 weeks to the election. And all of a sudden, boom, fall out the sky, Killer Mike and Ice Cube show up. Now, the last I heard Ice Cube, I'm on Twitter hard. I'm on Twitter hard. Twitter is my favorite toy. You want to catch up with me, go to Twitter. You're going to see me talking crazy. I'm going to talk about football. I'm going to talk about rap music. I'm going to be offering my opinions on a whole myriad of things. I'm talkative, got a black mouth. I'm opinionated. I think I know everything. Yeah, I said it. So Twitter is like home base for me. It's the greatest toy ever invented, you ask me. Side note, a lot of people are leaving Twitter because Elon Musk purchased it and he's a racist, but you drive a Tesla. Help me understand. Back to the point. On Twitter, 2 years ago, Election Day, Donald J. Trump is no longer the president. Ice Cube comes on Twitter the very next day. Donald Trump offered me $500 million, $500 million. I had a $500 million plan. Didn't nobody support me. I'm done. That was the last time I've seen Ice Cube on Twitter talking about anything. Killer Mike steps up and supports Kemp because of Stacey Abrams. He said he really wasn't rocking with Stacey Abrams too hard, and Kemp likes some of the things he likes, like guns. Look, man, you can like whatever you want to like, and you can sign up with whoever you want to sign. I'm not going to say, because I disagree with you on this one instance, I'm not going to say, you ain't no good, you a coon, you a sellout, you a clown. I'm not doing that. That's not what I do on here. I don't disrespect anybody. I'm not going to call no names. Besides Herschel Walker, I'm going to call them all the names in the world. But that's neither here nor there. But I won't even do that to Herschel Walker. I'm just being funny. I'm not going to do that because just because me and Killer Mike don't see eye to eye on one thing don't mean Killer Mike don't do a lot of stuff in Atlanta. I know personally he does a lot of stuff in Atlanta. I'm not going to say that my man Ice Cube is a clown and all that. But the thing is, I'm starting to question a lot of these cats because they only show up election time. Brother Q, you said I'm done, which means I ain't with it no more. I'm leaving the battle. Now, I don't want to hear about, he be doing a lot of stuff in LA and he be helping the brothers over here because he was talking about helping the national brothers. Because if you only want to help the brothers in LA, Cayete Bendeja. Shut up, jerk. And help the brothers in LA. If you're going to help, be more like brother Tariq Nasheed, who had a reparations march early November in Washington, D.C. that covered, he had everybody in the United States of America trying to go, who was down with the reparations thing, come to D.C., and he was trying to make moves. That's what you do. Tariq Nasheed is on Twitter all the time. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's in motion at all times. Dr. Boyce Watkins, he takes time out of his day and give you information on stock quotes. He has a free class on how to get involved in the stock market and things of that nature. And bam, it's on Facebook. Everything is free. Dr. Boyce Watkins gives you information. He has a forum. He's giving you education. He's making moves. He's doing things for the community. I don't do that for the culture thing because everybody ain't hip hop. So and then you got people like Dr. Claude Anderson, even the homie Luther Campbell. They doing stuff. Luke is working with the children. Dr. Claude Anderson is working with Dr. Boyce Watkins. Tariq Nasheed is working on his own, and he partners with a lot of other people. You even got I ain't finna say dude because King Kong with a no, I'm not gonna do that. But my man Killer Mike and Cube, y'all showed up in the 11th hour. Y'all showed up at 11:50 and talking about Stacey Abrams. Now, I am starting to question Stacey Abrams because my girl Keisha Lance Bottoms, former mayor of Chocolate City, aka Atlanta, she wasn't really rocking for her. There's a bunch of politicians that wasn't rocking for Stacey really hard. So is Stacey somebody different in the state of Georgia than we perceive outside of the state of Georgia? Only the people in Georgia know that. So I'm going to stay out of that fight. But Killer Mike, Ice Cube, I ain't heard from y'all in 2 weeks. I waited. I told my man Big Mo, shout out to Big Mo. I told my man Big Mo, I was going to come on here and say this 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to give him 2 weeks. We haven't heard from Killer Mike. We haven't heard from my man Ice Cube. We haven't heard from these dudes in 2 weeks. So that means in the last 104 weeks, we only heard from them for 2 weeks, which makes me question something that's going on like that. If you have a platform like Killer Mike, international rap star, hit records, the whole get down, Ice Cube, you got movies, you got a basketball league, you got music, and you supposed to be down for the people. Be down for the people. Am I asking you to create a podcast and be on here like me every week? No. But guess what? I am asking you to start talking today. I'm gonna need you to start talking right after. And this can get back to you, Q, because the people in LA. I know it's people all over the world. It's literally people all over the world listening to H-Rap. So, hey, Ron J, he from Canada. Ron J been rocking with me since I was on the other platform. When I was on Blog Talk Radio. Ron J followed me over here. So yeah. So I got people in Canada. I done had people from Peru on the show. I got people reaching out to me from Australia. I got people Manchester United and England. They reach out to me on Twitter. They say I got a dope show. So it can get back to you, Cube. I'm gonna need y'all to start talking today. I need y'all to start talking today because y'all got more reach than me. We'll tell you what. Q, Killer Mike, come on the end of the bench and talk to me and talk to the people about what we need to do. And if y'all have more insight than me, I'm welcome to listen. I'm listening. I got 2 ears and 1 mouth. That means I need to listen more than I talk. But what I'm not gonna do is sit around and let y'all show up at the 11th hour, 11:59, talking about what ain't gonna mean. See, the Democrats ain't done this. Black people, stop telling me what the Democrats haven't done. Stop telling me what the Republicans haven't done. And I'm gonna need y'all to give me a list of things. I need y'all to give me a list of things that y'all want. People from Wakanda, of course. T'Challa, he couldn't do the movie because he had my crib, chilling, sipping. He was a little drunk the other day. But now on the serious side, wait, then you convinced me that he did not know a damn thing. Hey, man, I told you, Rated Cab. 2 years ago, I told you. We'll see. And we've seen. We haven't heard from Q. We haven't heard from Killer Mike until 2 weeks before the election. Stop telling me what the Republicans not doing. Stop telling me what the Democrats not doing. And I just need the 3 questions I ask at the top of each show. What do we want? What do we need? How can we get it? If they got answers, I know Dr. Boyce, I know Dr. Claude, and I know Tariq Nasheed. They making moves. They're making moves every day. Every day, Dr. Claude Anderson comes on there and gives information about the stock market. He's teaching people how to invest. He even had a seminar to show if you put $5 a day into the stock market for 20 years, you'll get $400,000. And it is a tried and true situation. So Q, Killer Mike, got mad respect for you brothers. But I'm going to need y'all to be around 52 weeks a year. Don't just show up at the 11th hour and tell us what the Democrats haven't done. I'm going to need you to show me what you asked them for and what they, Q, well, I had a $500 million plan. It's been 2 years. The Democrats ain't reached out to me. Did you reach out to them? We have to stop saying what they didn't do for us, and we have to start doing for us. One more thing. One thing, and then I'm out. Brothers and sisters, I come on here every week, and I disseminate information that I think is valuable to the community. What I am going to do is this. I'm going to ask y'all to never ask me to divulge a plan on live air. The reason I would never divulge something that I'm doing on live air outside of something that's in general, because the people who are anti-us, they don't go nowhere and say, we're going to meet up at the Capitol January 6th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They didn't do that, but it happened. See, what I feel we do too much is tell everybody what we're going to do. And then you get the people who hate us a running start on what they need to do to stop us. We need to operate like some of these, like what they call terrorist cells. There's one mission when it's a terrorist cell to destroy the infidels, right? We're not terrorists. We ain't talking about enacting no violence against anything or anyone. But what we do need is Ray the Kev, who down there in Arlington, Texas, Joe in Houston, Big Illinois here in Chicago with me, the greatest out in LA, my man Flat Towel in Virginia, my cousins in Atlanta, Chief Rock in Atlanta, Knox in New Jersey, and so forth and so on. Get together with your little clubs, your church, your Masonic orders, the Easter Stars, the Kappas, the Alphas, the Qs, the Zetas, the AKAs, the Deltas. Get together with these organizations and these little fellowships that you have and discuss what we're going to do in your community so we can move in one direction and get our community in order. You ain't got to tell the world, just do it and then make it happen. You ain't got to post it on Facebook. Just do it and make it happen. Because every time you promote your plan and a bunch of people get behind you, they send somebody in to destroy it. Disagree? Malcolm X, Muslim Marx Incorporated, they were infiltrated by that Federal Bureau of Investigation. And the CIA watched them the whole way. The Christian leadership thing with Dr. King and that crew, they got infiltrated, and that's no longer in existence. The Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee got infiltrated, no longer exists. The Black Panther Party self-defense, infiltrated, no longer existed. So every time we do something and make a big fuss about it, somebody come in and take over and destroy it from the inside. How about this? Let's just create. That's how about we just put forth the energy, come up with a plan, create, ask the 3 questions. What do we want? What do we need? How do we get it? Get together with your people and get it done. With that being said, I want to salute to the people that and give me the inspiration that is the Ghetto Boys. That is, the Ghetto Boys. Willie D and Scarface. Tariq Nasheed, the aforementioned Tariq Nasheed, doing a whole lot of work. He putting out documentaries, historic documentaries that show you that you are capable of doing things more than being, you are not a slave. You are a person captured and enslaved. You are a human being. Nori, it's entertainment based, but he's letting you know, hey, you can do what you want to do when you want to do it, and then you can be as successful as you want to be. Talib Kweli is doing the exact same thing. Ray Grady doing the exact same thing. Zoe Williams, full of information, full of knowledge. He has delved into the relationship category, but he's helping people get better. He got a book called The Relationship Dismount: How to Avoid a Toxic Relationship. You got Craig Smith, fun podcast. He's doing the same thing. Al Sharpton, he's doing what Al Sharpton does. Heather B, she's giving you information in a positive way. She's promoting positivity, nothing but positive vibes. Clay Kane, he's doing God's work. He's getting people who wrongfully convicted, and he's getting information out there. Loree Daniel Favors, my personal favorite radio host in the United States of America. She's doing God's work. She's talking about everything from taking care of you from the earth to the atmosphere. Loree Daniel Favors is doing great work. Dr. Greg Carr, one of the most informed people I've ever come across in my life. Anytime he gets a book, says read it, I read it, and I feel a little smarter. Karen Hunter, another person doing God's work. She the quarterback of this whole thing. Karen Hunter is creating platforms. She has a home. She has jailbroke the university system for $150 a year. You can be part of her narrative and New Year program. I think I'm gonna join soon. because they handing out too much information. They teaching you how to farm. They teaching you how to do a whole lot of stuff. They jailbroke the education system, $150 a year. And they had their own social media platform. Salute to Karen Hunter. She's doing big things. She's doing great things. And the dean of this whole Black empowerment radio thing, Joe Madison, he has a book called Radioactive. He's an activist on the radio, Radioactive. Man, been doing it since the 60s. And I take my cue from Joe Madison. That's why I try to make it as simple as possible. As he states, he put it where the goats can get it. And with that being said, man, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Go to www.theendofthebench.com. Subscribe on Built for This Network. Yes, indeed. I need you to subscribe. Go to Spreaker.com. I want you to go to Spreaker.com and Built for This Network. Subscribe. Tell a friend to tune in. You can catch me on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Prime Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Deezer, wherever you download your favorite podcast, just type in The End of the Bench. Everybody on my network, DJ Mad Knox, number one Chief Rocket Tracer Brown, Big Illinois, Lisa Duke, Mooka Dean, Chiz Roundtree, James Earl, and soon coming Our Wine Diaries. Wherever you need to be, that's where you want to be. You want to get me there. It's on your phone. If you have an iPhone, it's a purple app. Just go to podcast, subscribe to Built for This Network. You get all the content. With that being said, I need you to understand that I'm trying to do the darn thing. I want you to be the best and the most goodest. Yeah, hey, if what's the new word in the dictionary? They added to Webster's today. I can't think of the word. They just add a new word. If texted is a word, then most goodest is a word. So I'm creating my own word. I'm creating my own language. With that being said, 2 fingers, 1 word. I'm your man, H-Rap B. Remember, negativity is always there. It's always present, but you don't have to be available. And if you're rocking with me, rock with me. If not, I understand. I'm taking over the world 1 week at a time.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
We lust for that cheese, we lose sleep, dreams of that cream. We killing our teens, they dying for this American dream. Them government schemes, they turning us to hustlers and fiends. We hustling trees, them politicians smuggling green. Chasing that cheese, got everybody stressed in the streets. Pardon me for speaking freely, let it breathe. Evangelists preach the congregations out of their seats. They writing them checks for ties, now it's people can't eat. She stripping for change for school, now she giving them brains. She used to that loot, she earning, now she giving them strain. He new to this game, but hungry, so he cooking his cane. He getting that paper, but then they gave him 2 to the brain. It's rules to this game, but hustlers never hustle for fame. The spirit of greed is grimy, so we struggle to change. They put us in chains to take away our African names. But if we submissive and don't resist, then who do we blame? It's all a game, man. These Europeans staking they claim, and you a victim of their game plan. You thinking they ain't, you thinking they saints. Remember all them niggas they hang. Killed our women and our children, all our leaders is slain. They gave us Obama, but that nigga was hoping for change. But Zimmerman is killing niggas and he free. Shit is crazy, babies having these babies and getting checked. But keep the child from they pop to rip his heart out his chest. Our rappers was leaders and now they in the booth in the dress. Spitting bullshit and making more but giving us less. They taking our sound and changing ours, dumbing it down. They taking our jobs and homes and they shutting us out. They taking our kids because it ain't a man in the house. They locking us down, but soon they gon' be wiping us out. They told our women they was too independent to need a man. They told our brother he was too insignificant to advance. It's all a game, man. These Europeans staking they claim. And you a victim of their game plan. You thinking they ain't, you thinking they saints. Remember all them niggas they hang. Killed our women and our children, all our leaders is slain. It's all a game.
Four-letter words words or 4-syllable words won't make you a poet. It will only magnify how shallow you are and let everybody know it. And if they look at you like they think you're insane, or they call you scarecrow thinking you ain't got no brain, or start telling folks that you suddenly gone lame, or that the white folks have finally co-opted your game, or you really don't know, they said that about me a long time ago. If they finally start telling people that you lost your nerve, that's what they said about Johannesburg. You ain't insane, you have got a brain, you haven't gone lame, you have got your game. Remember, keep the nerve, keep the nerve, keep the nerve, keep the nerve. We're talking about peace.
Real shit.